Alright, hi guys. I've actually tried to do this video again, but I'm so bad at explaining stuff. So let's try it again. So I just got back, or came outside, I guess, from answering some questions. Not say answering questions, but responding to comments um, on YouTube. And so I wanted to talk specifically about why I do not go to dog parks. And so I guess we'll start with Kratos first since he's out here. So the thing with Kratos is he wants to be the boss, right? Like the first thing that he usually does when meeting other dogs is try to kind of be very domineering and be like, hey, I'm the boss, you're going to submit to me immediately. And so, which is an issue in a dog park because like that's okay in a pack setting where he's the alpha male. Like as an alpha male, he needs to let everybody know in his pack that he's the boss. But unfortunately, with strange dogs, it's just not going to fly. There's going to be dogs that are going to be accepting of it, but there's going to be there's probably going to be more dogs that are pretty accepting of it, but there's definitely going to be those dogs that aren't accepting of it, and we'll try to correct him for him trying to dominate them or whatever it is, and it would just start a fight. Like Kratos is not one to back down. I can tell you that much. He's not one to back down unless it has to deal with me. So the dog, our neighbor's dog, was out a minute ago. I don't think he's out now, but Kratos was out before while I was out here cleaning up poop, and the other dog was out here. And at first they were just doing fine, running back and forth along the fence, but meeting through the fence is not really a good ideal, especially if it's face to face, which naturally it is face to face through a fence. And it's not the right way to greet another dog. So Kratos was getting really amped. He was doing a lot of growling and barking. I mean, it's mostly barking and growling, but he wasn't actually listening to me when I said come here, and therefore I had to actually go over there and grab his collar and drag him back inside the house. When I say drag him, there were some times where he definitely tried to see what's going on behind him, but for the most part he walked along fairly well. But anyway, that kind of just shows also what I'm trying to talk about. Like Kratos wants to be the boss. Like if he's the boss, he's fine, he's cool. But it's the issue if he's not the boss where it's an issue. It's an issue so many times where it causes an issue with him, right? Where he's like, okay, I have to teach everybody that I'm the boss around here, and then then we're cool. But like I said, there's just gonna be dogs out there that's like, look, no, I'm a dominant dog too. I'm not about to submit to you. You're not in my pack. This on the fourth. So it would just start an altercation. And Kratos, like I think I have a fairly good control over Kratos. Like if we are walking and there's another dog barking on a leash somewhere, somebody else is walking a dog, I feel like I could definitely control Kratos pretty well. But in a dog park setting where they're off leash, I just won't have the control. Kratos, when he's like focused on something, he's focused on something. Like if there's nothing to actually physically remind him that he needs to listen, he's not gonna listen. Like the thing that I can say with these dogs is that your words are not going to do anything. Like they have to learn, like, okay, either I can listen to their words or something else happens that I don't like for them to actually be quiet. So I know people don't necessarily like using e-collars or anything like that, which is totally fine. But I do find that e-collars, at least in regards to Kratos, because Samara hasn't been on an e-collar ever. She's way too young. But I do find that e-collars are a very good way to say, hey, look, you're going to listen to me when I first tell you something, or you can get, a vibration, or if you don't listen to the vibration, it could be a shock. I find that as soon as, because with Kratos, I did that kind of progression, where it's like vibration, then shock. And so he knows that the vibration, like you don't listen there, then it's going to be something else. But anyway, these dogs need more than words. So if Kratos is getting into an altercation, it's going to need me more than just me screaming at him for him to stop. And it's also going to take more than me screaming at him and pulling at his leash for him to stop, especially if the other dog isn't being pulled away as well. And even then, there's stuff we're going to still want to go after each other. And so it's a situation I just don't want to be in. Like I said, I do have fairly good control over Kratos. I'll definitely have to get a video of that. Maybe we'll go out tomorrow or something. Well, let's see what's open tomorrow. Like in public settings, I have fairly good control over him. But I'm like 150 pounds, question mark, I actually don't know. But Kratos is, when he is fully grown, he will be over half my weight. And so he won't like be my weight unless he's going to be overweight, which is he's not going to be that far overweight, like trust me. But at fully grown, he should be 95 pounds, right? So he's going to be a big dog, and he's going to be able to pull me off my feet if I can't control him. And so that's why we're doing all this training now, as far as going to classes, and we're going to do some other training stuff too. But long story short is that, like, he's a big dog, so if he ever gets out of control, I won't be able to control. It'll be hard for me to control him, incredibly hard. Especially about the e-collar, but and dog parks are just a situation where things can get out of control very, very quickly, especially when you have a dog like this that wants to be the boss and wants to tell everybody boss. Like, Kratos trying to tell everybody that he's the boss, like, it's not acceptable, like, a situation for dog parks, and that's just the reality. That's what he likes to do, though. He likes to let everybody know he's the boss. I just can't, like, it would definitely end up in a fight, and so I just try to avoid that situation with Kratos, so we just don't go to dog parks. With Jack, she is very friendly. Hi, pretty boy. He's so cute. He's so gorgeous. Like, Kratos is gorgeous, even though he's young and still a little scrawny looking. He has a big old fat head. Oof. I don't want your stick, man. Oof, look at that big old fat head. He has big old fat paws too. Can I see a paw? I really don't want your stick. Like, that stick look nasty. Can I see your paw? Oh, I just want this paw right here. Oh, look at this big old paw. Look at it. He's a big dog. Long story short, he's not even fully grown. Like I said, he was 75 pounds last time I weighed him. Last time I went to the vet to get weighed. And like I said, he's going to gain at least 20 extra pounds before he becomes full grown. And so he's a big dog. So, and I know that once he gets out of control, it's going to be hard for me to control. And just based on his personality, we're just going to not try to put him in situations where he can be out of control. Naturally, there's going to be that one situation where maybe I'm out walking him and there's a dog off leash or something that comes. And honestly, in that situation, I can try to be prepared. I do have pepper spray, but I think I need to upgrade to something like stronger, like beer spray or something. Just to make sure that situations don't escalate too far if that something like that happens. But honestly, like, if that happened and Kratos actually was attacked for whatever reason, it's gonna be hard for me to pull Kratos off. Like, let me just be honest. And there's not many dogs that are bigger than him, at least not around here. There's plenty of breeds that are bigger than him, but around here there's not too many dogs that are gonna be bigger than him. So the most we'll probably find around here is possibly the pit bull. And those dogs pit bulls tend to be smaller. You see Jack, like, they tend to be smaller. So they'll have like a bully or something, but it doesn't even matter, y'all. But anyway, that's just with the Kratos. The Kratos, he wants to be the boss, and that would get him in trouble, right? Jack, it's her prey drive that would be an issue. Jack is a very friendly dog. She wants to play with every dog, and she loves people. She loves playing. Like, she absolutely loves that. But her issue is her prey drive. So it's either two situations which would get Jack in trouble. Either A, she starts running around and chasing other dogs, which would only really be, it'll be an issue in general. Like, you see that Kratos is the bigger dog, and if she can't get to him, like if I have her tethered, you already see that she kind of freaks out and does whining and crying, and she's just really hyped. She really wants to go catch him. So it's an issue with any type of dog, technically, but specifically with small dogs, it is an issue. Like, so we're in, so you guys may or may not know, but Jack is in intermediate basic class, whereas Kratos is in beginning basic class. So Jack is just a class above Kratos. There we have a Boston Terrier and is the Boston Terrier in her class? Yeah, I think the Boston Terrier and the Dachshund are in her class. And so, so we'll be doing like recall lessons or whatever, in which basically we'll have the dog needs to sit and stay at one side of the room, the owner moves to the other side of the room and then calls, things like that, right? And Jack gets as soon as that dog moves and starts running toward their owner, Jack just gets super excited. Like, it's just crazy. She's like, oh my gosh, they're moving. And like, she would chase if given the chance. Like, that's just how her prey drive is. Actually, I'll have to do a video where I show you guys how they chase a laser pointer. I feel like I talk about it every once in a while, but I never actually show you guys. Mostly because it's just so, like, the laser pointer works best when it's darker out, and when it's darker out, my phone is just extra crap. More crap than usual. But we'll see. We'll try to get one. We'll try to get a video of it. But anyway, her prey drive is off the chain. So she would literally chase down and catch a dog if, if she could. And off when you're in a dog park where everything's off leash, like she's not gonna. I mean, she does actually better than Kratos does with me saying something to her. Like if I say something to her, she's like, okay, fine, let me just behave. Unlike Kratos, who as a puppy he needs to learn like either you listen to me or you have a worse, correction. Like you use my voice, or there's a different thing that happen afterwards if you don't listen. Jack works really well with voice, but even then, when she's in play mode, it is really hard for her to focus, and she wants to, but it's just so hard for her to focus when her prey drive is turned on. And so either she'd heard a dog doing that, and that doesn't necessarily mean little dogs. You guys see how she is with Kratos, so it could be with any dog that's running around. So she would either heard a dog doing that, or she would be that dog that dog at the dog park that's always just doing zoomies around the park, and then that causes other dogs to chase. Like, she would be that dog, and either she would get caught by a dog that's like also has prey drive and wants to catch, or a dog that's like, hey, you ain't supposed to be doing this in the dog park, calm down. And so she'll be correction, and Jack may take offense to that, she may not, but either way it's gonna end up in a bit of a scuffle, because if a dog's trying to correct her, they're gonna pin her down, of course, but they're gonna do some growling and maybe even mouth biting, and Jack may be that dog to correct. Like there's sometimes I feel like with Kratos specifically, she's really tolerant, but you guys do see where she'll growl and bark at her, at Kratos as well. So it definitely might happen where Jack feels like she doesn't want to be corrected, and they might start a fight. Or, like I said, she'll get caught by another dog who also has prey drive, and then, that might start a fight, even if it's not a correction. I mean, maybe the dog just wants to catch, like she does, wants to catch. But it still might start a fight, depending on, if the dog runs her over or whatever it is. And so therefore, I can't bring her to a dog park, because it would hype up the energy, which would lead to a fight. And so, and this isn't necessarily any dogs to the dog park's fault. Like in a pack setting, Kratos being dominant might be fine if he's the alpha male, but if you're just meeting another dog, it's not acceptable to be like, hey, look, I'm gonna dominate you right now. Like that's rude. Like for Kratos to come up and try to dominate another dog on first meeting them, that's rude. And it's normal for a dog arching mastiff, as far as I know, because that's just what Kratos and Samara are like. But it's rude in a dog setting, so that it will literally just end up in there being a fight, and it'll be because of Kratos. And same thing with Jack. Hi, who's a pretty boy? What's going on? What's going on? It's like you keep saying my name, lady. What you want? What's going on, man? Oh, he's so pretty. I have to say, Kratos is a very pretty dog. Oh, big boy. I really don't want the stick. I'm actually probably going to throw it in that pile. Anyway, and then with Jack. Jack is also, like, dogs that do zoomies around the park, like, that's also not okay. It's not okay for the dogs to do that. It's okay for the dogs to be excited. However, all dogs, on some kind of sense, have a prey drive. And, like, Jack has an extreme prey drive because of her breed. But all dogs have some type, all canines have a prey drive. That's how canines in the wild hunt and get food. And so for a dog to have zoomies just be running laps around the park, it is going to happen to where a dog's going to chase. And it's not the dog who's chasing, it's not their fault, but it's the dog who's actually doing the zoomies fault, which is therefore the owner's fault, because you need to make sure your dog is tired enough to not start that kind of energy in a dog park. Because dogs in a dog park, for the most part, are going to be strangers. They're going to be strange dogs. You don't know that dog, you don't know their history, you don't know what they're capable of doing. So you have to play on the safe side. And a dog that's hyping up the energy, like a dog who's doing zoomies and running around like crazy around the park, that is not good behavior. That is a behavior that will hype up the energy and end up in a dog fight. So that would also be Jack's fault. And what's not really her fault is the fact that she has a high prey drive. It's just her breed. But even then, it's unacceptable for a dog in a dog park to go around just chasing dogs. I mean, if they're running, it's kind of the dog who's doing a whole bunch of running and stuff, it's kind of that dog's fault. But then you have the dogs who are just like bothering another dog so much that the other dog just like runs away, which starts like a chase game going on, which is also unacceptable. So you just gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. And unfortunately, both of my dogs just don't have the disposition, the temperament to actually go in a dog park and actually behave. It's just not. Unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, so that's my long explanation for why I don't go to dog parks. And honestly, I will say that I am Kratos is my first mastiff breed. So I'm still learning with him. You know, he's been a really easy dog, I have to say, as far as like what my expectation was kind of more of a Samara thing, where Samara is super independent, doesn't care if I'm around, very confident, very sure of herself, and Kratos just wasn't really that. You know, he was fairly dependent. Oh, look at the face, you're so cute. You're so cute. Hi, man. He has such a pretty face. Hello. Hello. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. Well, Kratos has been easy thus far, but I still see that he's still very, like, even though he's not necessarily what I would call dominant, he's a dog who wants to be dominant, right? Like, he's the dog who wants everybody to know, like, look, I'm the boss around here. Don't mess with me. And so, that in itself would start fights, right? And since he is my first dog that I've really had with this kind of temperament, I don't necessarily really know what I'm doing. You know, I've heard a lot of, you know, people explaining like, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that, or I know fairly a little bit about temperament and all the other great stuff and how to read body language and all this other great stuff, but he's my first actual application of my knowledge. So I'm still learning, and so another part of me not going to dog parks is just because of me. Like, I don't know a lot, and right now I am not confident in my ability to control him off leash to where he could go to a dog park. And so even Jack's a little bit easier to deal with because, like I said, she's, as much as her prey drive gets her in trouble, she really wants to listen. She really does. Kratos would prefer not to listen if he can get away with it. So Kratos is the issue, right? At the moment, I just don't have that control where off leash without an e-collar anyway, I could be like, you know, you need to do this, and he'll actually do it. Like, if I recall is something that does pretty well as long as he's not distracted, but anything else, it's a problem. So, but anyway, guys, that's all I want to talk about. So I will try to get a video of me. Oh crap, what time is it? Ew. Okay, I gotta go, guys. I'm trying to get a video of me with the dogs going places. I haven't done that in a while. And they definitely need to go. Maybe tomorrow. I have to clean up. I have a movie night with a friend today, and I need to clean up my house because the movie night's going to be here. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I have to figure that out. Because tomorrow's the holidays. I don't know. There should definitely be stuff that's open, but I just don't know how busy it's going to be. I don't know. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to go inside. This video's long enough. So talk to you guys later. Bye.